Good morning. Happy Coffee Talk Monday. Dr. Michelle is coming at you this morning. Thanks for joining me. Today, I have a conversation around the car ride to performance and the car ride home from performance. I want to talk a little bit about that because I spoke at a conference this last weekend and this came up and it made me think about how this is a really important topic and good conversation. Things happen in the car ride there and the car ride home. And a lot of times kids don't want that to happen, but they don't know what they need to have happen. And parents don't know what to do, right? Let me just premise this by saying, parents, I know you're doing the very best you can and really trying to do the best thing for your child. Absolutely. But there are different things that you can do and sometimes better things. So let me talk a little bit on the car ride to performance, competition, practice. This is a really great time for kids to figure out what headspace they need to get in before practice and before competition. Because these are the moments that lead into those moments. And particularly before competition, many kids are feeling stressed out, pressure, nerves, all kinds of things. That's largely because they don't know what else to do. You can help your child by asking them some questions. Where do you need to be before you get to practice or before competition? Do you need to be a little bit more pumped up? Do you need to be a little bit more calm and relaxed? And then you can offer suggestions on how they might get there. Music, calm music, pump up music, meditation, deep breathing. Those are some things. The key, though, is trying to not insert your opinion and be as less judgmental as possible. Right? This is just a process and trying to figure out what your child needs to help them perform most optimally. And then giving them that space to do that. And if they don't do that, they don't do that. It can be a hard thing to figure out, which is why people hire me to help kids figure that out, but you can do it. Again, it's just like trying not to be judgmental and not have your opinion and not scolding kids for not doing something. When we are going to do something big-ish, nerves are usually a part of the process for all of us, kids and adults. Because we're already feeling stress and pressure in those moments just before, we don't need any more. I was thinking about how if this last weekend before my presentation, somebody was here saying, you need to talk about this and you need to do that, I'd be like, okay, well, I already had my presentation together. And now you're wanting me to do what exactly? It becomes like too much and too overwhelming, which then just makes it all worse. So the car ride home. I hear all kinds of stories from kids about the car ride home. Some okay, some not so okay. Look, again, most of us, kids and adults, are usually beating ourselves up for what happened already. We already know what we didn't do well, and we already feel bad about it. And so when kids are hearing from all these other sources that they didn't do this, they didn't do that, you should have done that, why did you do that? Again, not helpful. When I work with kids, I firmly believe that they need an opportunity to think about what just happened and be the leaders of the conversation with coaches and with parents and teachers, with everyone. really. One of the big things that is not happening right now in our society is kids well into high school, into college are not individuating. They are not becoming individuals. They are so used to other people making their decisions and telling them what to do that so many of them do not have the ability to be able to do that. And it's scary. So with all of my clients, I have 3 principal key things that I have them look at after practice and after competition. First is what went well. Why? Well, the positive, what went well things, those are the foundation for building motivation and confidence. I guarantee that more probably went well than didn't. It's important to get in the habit of pulling those things out and paying attention to those. The second is what was challenging. Some people I don't even let think about that because that is going on in their head round and round, and we tend to remember those things for quite a while, right? But when you can take what didn't go well out of your head and write it down, it can make a huge difference getting it out of your head. Because you've probably heard me say this before, but thoughts sometimes don't leave your brain because they're like ping ponging around in there. They got nowhere to go. So when you can get them out, write them down, it can make a huge difference. Now, with the things that are challenging, what went well, what was challenging, I suggest that people write that down and then throw it away. If that's on a piece of paper, if that's on a sticky note, if that's on the notes in your phone, get rid of it. Let it go. Because then the third step is, what do I need to work on tomorrow? What's that all about? Well, that takes you from, or your child from, a very emotional place to a very action-oriented solution place. Because you know how, like, all of us, kids and adults, again, like, get in this place of like, ugh, I just went crap. Well, we gotta, I mean, yeah, sure, you can think about it that way. But as I just said, like, there's probably more that went well that didn't go well, but you're not able to pay attention to that. And when you can move from that place to like, okay, this didn't go well, or this was challenging, and here's what I need to work on tomorrow, it brings you hope, right? You're like, oh, I have something to work on. I have a goal for tomorrow. And it can really change the way that kids look at it and the way that they feel about it. So, what went well? What was challenging? What do I need to work on tomorrow? I really recommend that kids write all of these down. Some have a running page of what went well and a running page of what they need to work on, and trash the ones that were challenging. But there's a lot of different ways to think about it and record it, so to speak. But the other powerful thing about this is that this then gives the child information to share with coaches, with parents. Yeah, so they can be the leader of the conversation. So I always recommend parents, give them 5, 10, 15, whatever minutes to decompress and think about their experience, and then let them have the conversation, right? Okay, car ride there, car ride back. I hope this all makes sense. Again, it's not that you're doing anything wrong, but what is one thing that you could do slightly differently? This is Dr. Michelle coming at you, and I hope that you have an excellent week, and I'll see you back here next Monday.